So, um, let's talk about certain people that have an opinion and it's wrong. What is going on, y'all? It is yours truly, Master Sakurai. Let me get my camera right, because I want you guys to see and hear me when I say this, and I hope I'm being clear. So, a few days ago, right, a YouTube channel called Gameology, who apparently I was subscribed to, not no more, decided to upload a video talking about Sparking Zero and how it is not the game that should be out. It's not the game that should even exist, because it's the same game that's been around for years. And basically this person is, in my roommate's Urban Ninja's own words, comparing apple every other fruit in the world. Comparing the wrong shit. And I was not the only one that had a difference of opinion as to what the fuck is he even talking about, because almost John Brown near almost every Dragon Ball creator, a person that loved Dragon Ball, a fan of Dragon Ball, and excited for this game, made a video flaming this dude. So much so that their video is not even up anymore. Yeah, their video's gone. It's not even here. So here's what we're gonna do. How I found it was from a person who I subscribed recently, the Arm and Hammer. He made a video talking about this. So what we're going to do, we're going to react to his video and basically just reminisce on what this motherfucker said, since they decided to be pussies and take the video down. You know, me and Urban Ninja really just had a laugh, because we were trying to find the original video, and this motherfucker decided to take it down. Now, if you were so stance on what you said about that, why would you get rid of it, or probably even private it? Why would you do that? Why not stand on what you say? Is because you knew you was wrong, or because you weren't even a fan to begin with? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's continue. Let's do this. Worst review of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero ever by Gameology, Arm and Hammer. I'm gonna put this video in the description. Go check it out.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Hope everybody's day is going well. I'm Arm and Hammer. You already know what it is. Back at it again with another Sparking Zero video. So we are now less than 1 week from the game coming out.
Yes, we are.
Actually, I think it's...
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Don't mean to interrupt him. Don't mean to interrupt my guy, but we are definitely close. We are so close from actual perfection. Not the YouTuber. We are actually close to, by far, one of the greatest times in any Dragon Ball fans' lives.
It's like 5 days, so that would make it a school week, I believe, right? And honestly, it just never fails, man. Somebody's always got something to say about this game, and it wouldn't be so bad if the stuff they said didn't sound so dumb.
Facts. Man, I tell you, from these stupid people to perfectionists and a few other loudmouth people who are just wrong about everything that they've been saying about this game all the way up till now. It's just it's so tiring, bro. Like, it's just, and it's bogus too. And this is all because I'm getting ready to say it in this video. It's all coming from the fact that they didn't get the specific game that they wanted. These aren't even fans of Budokai Tenkaichi. Like, let's come on, let's go.
You know what I mean? And in case y'all haven't noticed, the video we are taking a look at today was published by none other than Gameology. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, I ain't even.
Now, as you can see, you see where the video he's talking about is in question? Why Dragon Ball Sparking Zero feels so familiar and not in a good way? That was posted at the time of my dude's recording. They posted that 2 days ago. Right? And it's not there anymore. If it was there, it would be right. It would be literally right there. Literally right there. That's what I'm saying, man. Like y'all stood so much. You thought you were so right on your opinion about Dragon Ball, period. Like, it was just, yo, it was hard to watch. And I watched this man's video I watched Arm & Hammer's take on it. It was hard to get through. It really was.
Heard of these dudes before today. I'm not even gonna hold you, but judging on how rowdy their comment section got because of their video, I'm gonna go into this with a perfection type mindset. You know what I'm saying? They wanted the sequel to another game. They got this game instead, and they aren't really too happy about it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Why Dragon Ball Sparking Zero feels so familiar, and not in a good way. Well, at least these niggas got quality. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't just some 480p.
Okay, we are. I'm checking for me. Checking for me.
And I wouldn't expect
I gotta check for me.
A channel with 2 million subs. But let's get into
On
this
my
shit,
end.
man. Let's go.
Can you spot what's wrong with these 2 Dragon Ball Z games?
Yeah, one of them Xenoverse. What the fuck, nigga? Like, y'all could have put Tenkaichi 3 right here or some shit. Nah, I'm just role playing, bro. Let me chill out.
The same scene. Goku and Vegeta battling it out in a Utah-looking desert. It's a classic clash.
So, you're mad because Goku and Vegeta are fighting in a Dragon Ball Z game?
This man really had a problem with them fighting in a quarry. That shit has been a staple since Dragon Ball. Since Dragon Ball Z. Hell, he fought Yamcha, the desert bandit, in a desert. And was not too far from a place like this. What are you complaining about?
Nigga, what the fuck? Who would have thought, bro? A Dragon Ball Z fighting game would have Goku and Vegeta's most iconic battle in it.
That's what I'm saying.
But hey,
that's what I'm saying. Hold on. We gotta make sure we're recording, dude. You just gotta make sure.
No, let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Into the modern era. And with the new engine, you can likely pick out which one is the newest game, Sparking Zero. But which one is the second newest? Does the gameplay look different?
He's gonna point it out in a minute.
Faster? Smoother? Tighter? Closer to the source material? Besides the graphics, it's almost impossible to tell. And that's a problem. Dragon Ball...
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like, I don't know who edited your video, but y'all niggas put Xenoverse 1 and 2 in the same picture, bro.
Now, how the hell y'all managed to do that? How the hell did y'all manage to do that? You talking about Sparking Zero being almost the exact same as these games, yet they look nothing alike, and y'all had the audacity to put the same genre game in the same picture?
And Xenoverse 2 being a sequel to the first game with just more shit. Of course it's gonna look damn near the same. You know what I mean? Now, this one in the bottom right corner, I believe is burst limit. Burst Limit plays completely different from the rest of these games. It's not really an arena fighter. I guess you could call it that, but y'all remember that Dragon Ball Z fighting game from back in the early 2000s? It was called Budokai. It's basically like
the very first Dragon Ball game I ever got to play. The very first. I had Dragon Ball Z Budokai and loved it. I loved it. I loved it so much. If y'all remember the video that I made a week ago talking about this, I would spend numerous hours playing this shit. And then when my friend got Budokai 3, we spent hours playing that shit as well. He would come over every day, almost every day in the summer, and we would play the hell out of Budokai 3.
Dragon Ball's version of Tekken, but you know it's got flight and you have like ki and shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not shitting on Budokai. I fuck with Budokai heavy, but that is what Burst Limit is. It is Budokai HD. It doesn't play like your typical Dragon Ball arena fighter. Because me personally, I don't really count Budokai as an arena fighter. I count it as like a 2D fighter in a way. You know what I mean? This is Raging Blast 2. That's Tenkaichi HD, pretty much. That was like the new Tenkaichi before Sparking Zero, right? Plays completely different from the rest of these games. Maybe the niggas that they had playing them just knew basic combos, and that's really all it was to it. But once you get into like the high level esques of these games, they play completely different. But
and he's not wrong. He's not wrong about that at all. Like this is how you know Gameology had no idea what they were talking about, because if you really knew what you were saying, you wouldn't even made that video in question. You wouldn't even made it, because anybody can tell just by playing them games the difference between them. Anybody could tell. My friend, I just said, my friend could tell you the difference between any of these games. Sorry
keep
about
going.
Tighter, closer to the source material. Besides the graphics, it's almost impossible to tell. And that's a problem. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is looking to switch up the DBZ Arena Fighter formula. But the truth is, it fails to switch up the formula at all. There have been well over 100 titles in the DBZ franchise. From the sublime to the absurd. But when Dragon Ball started using a boilerplate arena fighter template back in 2002 with the introduction of the Budokai series, the franchise has felt like it's been stuck in a hyperbolic time chamber. With over 20 different DBZ arena fighters released in the past 20 years.
Wait, what?
Now, before he goes off, I want y'all to see something. I want y'all to see it, since they had the audacity to take their video down because they realized what they did was fucking wrong. I want you to see what they just did. So they're trying to say that we've had these number of fighting, these number of Dragon Ball games all this time, and we keep getting the same thing, right? This man put Dragon Ball Fighter Z, a 2D fighting game, and a freaking mobile game. He put a freaking mobile game along with Budokai. And didn't even have the audacity to include and then, well, you want to know what the thing that really pissed me off, and I'm being for real. He tries to make it seem like this is something to complain about. We haven't had a Budokai game in 17 years. And you come up with this bullshit? Continue.
What the fuck? Did this nigga, bro? Did these niggas think that Dragon Ball Fighter Z is an arena fighter? Dragon Ball Fighter Z is not an arena fighter, bro. It's a traditional 2D fighting game, bro. What the fuck? Dragon Ball Legends? Yeah, nigga. That's a fucking mobile game, bro. Dragon Ball Z Sagas, bro. That is not.
And then yeah, I was getting ready to say it. My bad. And then you got Sagas, which is not even. It's not even an arena fight. If you didn't play Dragon Ball Sagas, you wouldn't know this. But that's not a fighting game. It's not a fighter. It's not an arena fighting game. It's not. It's not Budokai. I don't know where he got off to make these comparisons, but he really pulled this out of his ass. And I'm saying that. He really did. He really pulled this right out of his behind.
Alright, bro. What the fuck? What the hell? Now, me personally, I don't really count the Budokai series as arena fighters. Like, maybe y'all do, and I'm just tweaking out, but it doesn't play the same as the Tenkaichi games, like, at all. Like, it plays more closely to, like, you know, Tekken, you know, fighters and all that. You know what I'm saying? Sagas, like, well, we don't even gotta talk.
Well, in my honest opinion, the Budokai doesn't really play like Tekken and everything, because if it played like Tekken and things of that nature, I wouldn't have the ability to go in the air and knock somebody out the air and this, that, and the third. Like, the reason why I count Budokai along with Budokai Tenkaichi is because it's the same feel for me. For me, it's the same feel. Not saying that everybody else should agree with that, because it's good. I get it. I understand. But Budokai had me really get into Budokai Tenkaichi because of the level of feel that I had, because I was playing, because I played Budokai. So I was used to it. I was used to powering up, going for the attack, key blast, all that. I was used to it. So when Budokai Tenkaichi came out, I was like, oh shit, let's freaking go. But that's just me. That's just me. Not saying I'm right. Okay?
Talk about how bad that game is. Like, that game fucking sucked. Like, I don't think Sagas was really a fighting game.
It wasn't.
And if there was like a competitive fighting scene on it,
It
I
wasn't.
wouldn't have known about it.
Sparking Zero promises to be more of an exercise in nostalgia than an actual competitive fighting game.
But she's got a new hat.
See, that's what everybody says. Like, oh, this game is just nostalgia bait. It's just a cash grab. But let's see if this dude actually has valid reasons why. And nigga, you're using Simpsons memes? Like, what the fuck?
I like The Simpsons. I can't.
Let me shut
I'm
up.
sorry.
This is gonna be a fun video.
But yeah, like y'all
Holy
listen to this.
shit.
Please listen to this.
Dragon Ball fans deserve better. Full disclosure, I've been a huge Dragon Ball fan since I stumbled across it on Spanish Access Television when I was 10 years old. I love
you have, huh?
Dragon Ball. It means more to me than any other animated franchise. I name my cat Piccolo and sometimes dress him up like Lord Beerus. That's why I
TMI.
need Dragon Ball Z to do better. Looking back on the past is comforting, but we can't live in it forever. We deserve either a transformative leap forward for the series or a sequel to the only transcendent Dragon Ball game over the last decade.
Oh, wait, so that's what this is about. All right.
Yeah. So, here's his argument. He feels as though Dragon Ball games and Dragon Ball has been getting the same thing all this time until they made Fighter Z. He's making the argument that Fighter Z was a breath of fresh air, and we should have got a sequel to Dragon Ball Fighter Z where not only was it Dragon Ball Fighters, but we could also be able to explore the world, have difference in characters, all this other stuff. And that's his reasoning. Also, the fact that Sparking Zero is the same thing. I'm going to say this right now. Dragon Ball Fighter Z was okay. But it was still lacking. Okay? Was a story about Android 21? All right, sure. Should she get a DLC in Sparking Zero? Sure. To be honest with you, the only reason why people really like her like that is because obvious reasons. Female boo. And a lot of motherfuckers, weird motherfuckers, wanted to smash that. Right? But that's here or there. Okay? Dragon Ball Fighter Z was an okay game. It wasn't the best. Because you want to know what motherfuckers was saying while people were playing this? Damn. Now all you gotta do is give us Budokai Tenkaichi 4 again and we good. I said that. People around my circle said that. We were all saying it. So I don't understand where this dude is coming from. Because even when we had gotten this, even when we had gotten Xenoverse, even when we had gotten what's the other one? Kakarot, which in my honest opinion is a remake of 3 special games, but I'm gonna get further into that in this video. We all wanted Budokai Tenkaichi to return. We all wanted that series to come back. So I'm gonna say this once, maybe a lot of times in this, but you are alone in this fight, dog. For real.
Alright. Nah, nigga. You just snitched on yourself, bruh. So that's what this is about.
Yeah.
My nigga wanted Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah, he did.
2.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
That's why he was bringing up all of those 2-dimensional Dragon Ball fighting games. Because I was like, why are you bringing in like Legacy of Goku, Supersonic Warriors, and all that shit? Like, if you wanted to compare Sparking Zero to its predecessors, like the other arena fighters, why didn't you like bring in Tenkaichi at least, or Raging Blast, or Xenoverse, which they did, but they did it for like a second. The rest of the time, it's just been like Budokai, Super Battle, you know, all of the 2-dimensional Dragon Ball fighting games. So I think what it boils down to is that this dude wanted Dragon Ball Fighters, the sequel, and when we got Sparking Zero instead, these niggas weren't too happy about it, and they were like, I gotta make a video hating. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like the Perfection situation. Like, that nigga wanted Xenoverse 3, and yada, 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 rinse and repeat. But let's keep going, bro. This dude might actually have valid points, and I get it. He wanted Fighters too. I'm not gonna fault him for that. He might.
I'm gonna fault him for that. Because no one was thinking about that. Nobody was thinking about a Fighters 2. No one was thinking about that. People were thinking about Budokai Tenkaichi. Point blank, period.
Have some valid points. So let's keep going. I'm not going.
Over the last decade.
I'm not gonna.
Played Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and unfortunately, my fears were confirmed. This is deja vu all over again. Now, Sparking Zero graphics are the best they've ever been, and I applaud them for having destructible environments and trees that sway when hit with ki power, but graphics alone do not make a game. When you dissect the match,
that is true.
Graphics alone do not make a game. That is proven through
he has a
Burst
point.
Limit, and that is also proven through Jump Force, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I think Jump Force's visuals looked amazing, to be honest. It's just that the animations of the characters when in just general gameplay, like they all sucked. Like even the story, like they all looked like they were being controlled by ventriloquists or some shit.
When you dissect the match, it's much slower than it looks. Real impact and damage is far apart. And it doesn't have the back and forth, keep them guessing momentum battle.
Wait.
Apart.
Did you play the game?
No,
Hold
he
on,
did not.
Said he played the game, right?
That should tell you reason enough. So he's making this nothing burger argument, saying that it doesn't the controls are all the same. It doesn't feel. This is a perfect example of somebody that likes to spout nonsense and they don't know what they're talking about. Because as he was going forward, he really compared. He really compared all of those games to Tekken, Street Fighter, all them other games that have nothing to do with Dragon Ball. Nothing to do with Dragon Ball.
Right? This is not this, bro. This is the starter build from when the game first got announced.
And then he makes, and then like you just said, and then he uses the beta gameplay, from when it was announced, when they announced the game, as his argument for why it all looks the same. It just
Is he making this video based off of him playing this build of the game? Because if y'all have been keeping up with the news and the updates, y'all would know that they sped up the game like, I don't know the exact number, like 1.5x, 2x. Someone fact check that for me down in the comments because I don't remember. But they sped up the game to where everybody moves fast as shit, bro. Like, I was watching that high-level gameplay online. Nigga, that shit is fast-paced as a bitch. Now, if he's making this video based off of this build, you gotta keep up to date, homie. Like, this shit ain't it. I'm not gonna lie, bruh.
And it doesn't have the back and forth, keep them guessing momentum battles of top fighting games. We're seeing stagnation in the gameplay.
like, why are you comparing Tekken and all them other games to this? Why are you comparing that? Tekken and Street Fighter play differently. They have nothing to do with Dragon Ball. Nothing. Or any other fighting game outside of that. They have nothing to do with this game. That was the main thing that pissed me off. One of the main things.
Zero is extremely similar to the last several dozen Dragon Ball Arena fighters. It feels more like the return of the EA Sports Cup.
That's cap.
And that's a lot.
Quote unquote dozen Dragon Ball Z arena fighters. If y'all really think about it, we ain't even really been getting arena fighters like that.
We haven't.
After Tenkaichi 3, we had
Like I just said, like, it's been 17 years. Yo, you really think that everybody was into Xenoverse? You really think that? You really think everybody was playing fighters? Not everybody was playing that. Not everybody was playing it. If that was the case, then Xenoverse and Fighters would have had amazing numbers, outstanding numbers still. Just like how Sparking Zero is getting. It would have amazing numbers if that was the case. But it's not. So how dare you try to make that comparison?
have Raging Blast, Xenoverse 2, and now we've got Sparking Zero. That's pretty much all we've been getting.
Basically, and I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say this right now. A lot of people were shitting on Raging Blast. Some people did not like Raging Blast. That's not coming from me. That's coming from people who I've talked to. whenever I told them that I like Dragon Ball, and they, for some reason, they just brought up Raging Blast and how trash it was. And on top of that, I was on X the other day, Twitter, and my motherfuckers was telling me, because I was trying to figure out if Xenoverse was all that's cracked up to be, since like the perfectionists that like that motherfucker was making such a big deal out of it. People were saying no. I don't understand why he making it seem like it's the God's gift to humanity, because it was missing a lot of shit. And I said, what? From the way he was talking, I thought it had everything. And he was like, nah, yo, it ain't had. Somebody wouldn't tell me they didn't have the other Frieza forms. I'm just like, wait, huh? What you mean they didn't have the other Frieza forms? How could it not have the other Frieza forms? How you gonna be a Dragon Ball game and not? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's continue.
Xenoverse 2's been DLC carried for like, what, 8 years now? And Tenkaichi Tag Team, I noticed they brought that up too. That's a PSP game, bro. We don't count that as a mainline Dragon Ball game. And for it being on the PSP, Tenkaichi Tag Team was a pretty good fucking game. Me personally, that was my first Tenkaichi game growing up, because I missed Tenkaichi 3. Right, I think I was like 3 or 4 when that game came out. I still had fucking Legos in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's keep going.
Football franchise than a new spin on Dragon Ball.
I don't know why you're comparing this to EA Football.
I don't know either. I don't understand. Like, this man is literally comparing every other game to this. It doesn't make sense to me. Like that. This has got to be the biggest nothing burger I've ever heard.
Like, they brought back an old franchise and didn't switch anything up, which Sparking Zero did. Like, this is not the same old Tenkaichi game that y'all niggas know and remember from back in the day. Like, they incorporated a lot of new mechanics, right? Revenge counters, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the same game from 15 years ago. Now, the base of Tenkaichi is still there. The core of the game is still there.
That's right.
However, they took elements from Tenkaichi and Raging Blast and gave us a whole new Dragon Ball experience off of it. Which is good, because Tenkaichi 3 and Raging Blast 2 are the two most praised Dragon Ball Z fighting games of all time. Let's keep going, though.
Updated graphics with familiar controls. And I need to talk about those controls, because if you've ever wondered what it's like to be one of the Z fighters, turn elsewhere, because the controls are not great. Dragon Ball is at its best when it delivers on...
Honestly, he's saying the controls not great. Here's what I say. Skill issue. I'm not great at the game. I did suck at the controls when I first played. I got used to it. Skill issue. And like, as if motherfuckers like me aren't gonna be, bro, it's been years since I played a game like this. I know I'm gonna be ass, but I'm gonna be playing this thing like I don't, God knows what. I'm gonna get used to it. That's what a gamer does. When they're ass at a game, they don't sit here and whine about saying the controls are ass and all this other stuff. You wanna know what they do? They get used to the game. They spend time with the game. I swear, some of y'all just be whining just to hear yourselves complain and talk. It's so tiring to me. It's so tiring to me. Like, deal with your issues, dog. Or just put the game controller down. And shut your mouth.
Fighting and yelling. And Sparking Zero does have a dedicated yell button.
And then that shit.
Wait, what, nigga? What?
Yeah. And then he says that shit. That right there. I don't know if that was supposed to be a joke, or that was actually him being serious. But he actually said, and see, this is what I'm talking about. He just to put this out there, this motherfucker goes on in the video. Gameology goes on in the video and talks about how much of a Dragon Ball fan that he is and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, you calling the key charge, the yell button. The yell button. You're calling the key charge button the yell. Never in my life did I ever say something as stupid as that. And I've been a Dragon Ball fan for years. And I'm gonna keep making this reference. When Toonami was around, and they were promoting the shit out of Dragon Ball Z. I never in my life said anything on the lines of that. Ever. And it's even making me more pissed because y'all know y'all actually were being serious, because if you weren't, y'all wouldn't have took the video down. But y'all was getting flamed. Broiled, even. Continue.
What?
Yelling makes your special bar max out.
Yell button? Yeah, nigga. Are you sure you watched Dragon Ball? This
No,
nigga
he didn't.
called the key charge button.
He didn't.
Hold on, we gotta play that back.
Yelling makes your special bar max out.
This nigga called key charging yelling.
Right. Come on.
Yelling makes your special bar max out. And then
Hold on. Go back to that. Go back to that real quick. Go back. Don't fuck with Dragon Ball fans. We haven't watched the show. I gotta find this meme. I have got to find this meme because that is me right there. These so-called Dragon Ball fans, I don't fuck with them. Why? Because they don't fucking watch the show. They don't watch Dragon Ball. They claim they watch Dragon Ball Z. They say they say that they gave GT a chance, but can't tell me the reason why they don't like GT. And then on top of that, they keep shitting on Super every chance they get. But they want to talk to me about D. Man, get the fuck out my face.
Yelling makes your special bar max out. And then you can pull off bigger moves and Kamehamehas. But it comes at the cost.
Kamehamehas? What the fuck? You know what? I might just be nitpicking at this point.
No, you're not.
Right,
No. This man is digging his own grave. You're not nitpicking. I'm gonna say this right now. If everybody, I said this about a person has opinions. If everybody has the same goddamn opinion and thinking the same thing, it stops being an opinion and starts being a fact. You're not nitpicking, because I would say even worse shit.
The way he phrased it, he was making it sound like everybody in the game had Kamehamehas. It's like, has this dude ever played a Tenkaichi game?
No, obviously not. Obviously not. Obviously not.
Because
he hasn't.
First he was talking about, oh, the key charge button is the yell button. And now he's talking about, if you press this button, you can make every character do key moves and Kamehamehas. Nigga, what? Let me help you out with that, sir. The accurate term is beam attacks.
Powering up freezes you in place while your special bar fills up, leaving you vulnerable to attack.
Huh? I beg your fucking pardon, nigga?
Comes at the cost of pacing. Powering up freezes you in place while your special bar fills up, leaving you vulnerable to attack.
Is that not how key charging always worked, or am I
No, you're not. Hold on.
missing something here? What?
No, you're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. So he's upset that when you charge your power, when you charge and stand in place, it's open for someone else to attack you. This man, he doesn't play games. He doesn't play games. He doesn't play these games. He does not play these games, because who the fuck bitches about that? You want to know? Fuck all that. Fuck all that. You want to know what you do when a motherfucker does that and they not let you charge? Send the asses flying first at a reasonable distance. Then once you've done that, charge your attack. What or what? Y'all, some of y'all haven't done it before. I know y'all have. But he's acting like he's 2 years old right now. Not Arm & Hammer, but Gameology. Send them flying first if they want to keep doing that, and charge your goddamn attack. Or better yet, have whoever the person you're playing with comes to an agreement that charge first, then go at it. Either one or two. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Like, oh my God.
Right? No, you've never played a Zekaichi game.
No,
bro.
he hasn't. He hasn't. I'm gonna keep saying it. He hasn't.
Even in Fighters, I could pull up footage from Dragon Ball Fighters right now. When you're key charging in every Dragon Ball Z fighting game, you're standing in place, and that is the way that it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Even in the series, niggas are standing there yelling. They're charging their energy, bro. What the fuck do you mean? It leaves you vulnerable to attack.
He doesn't play games. He doesn't play games. That's the whole thing. He doesn't play games. Like I said, I spent my money on Fighter Z. I played it. I know you can charge in the game. So him making this stupid ass argument means nothing. The only thing that this tells me is that he is booty cheeks in the game if he ever played it. And I bet you it was probably years ago when Budokai Tenkaichi was out. Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Either that or he played the games that he thinks is similar, and he was ass cheeks in that. And got butthurt because people were attacking him while he was charging. And they were just... He wanted them to just stand there while he was charging. I swear, yo, I can't.
That's what it's supposed to do. I'm not finna let you charge in front of me, nigga. Get far away from me on the map, and then you can charge your key, nigga. What the hell?
Yeah, or like he just said, fly far away, charge your attack, go back, and then attack. It's not hard to do. So, like I said, I don't understand this man, this motherfucker's point. He's trying to put lettuce and tomatoes on his nothing burger, and it's not working.
Part of DBZ, but it still makes the game feel clunky. And here's why.
Clunky.
It's because
What?
the controls are too complex for casuals, but not technical enough for hardcore gamers.
And that's the thing that pissed me off right there. That's the thing that pissed me off right there. First of all, you don't speak for casual gamers. I'm a casual gamer. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit my mic. I'm a casual gamer. I just told you I got used to the controls. You don't speak for motherfuckers. You don't. Just because it's too complex for you doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. So for you to go ahead and sit, if you was in my face right now, I'd slap the shit out of you. I really would. Because you don't be making these statements like that and thinking you right. You don't speak for us. You don't.
Gamers. It's been 20 years since
Cap. Tenkaichi, or aka Sparking Zero, for the most part has always been a straightforward fighting game. You know what I'm saying? Most of the characters control the same. If I'm not mistaken, like Tenkaichi is easy to pick up, hard to master. Like any nigga can learn the triangle extender combos. You know what I'm saying? But when you get into the advanced shit, you got to start learning text, which, if I recall correctly, a lot of the text from the earlier Tenkaichi games aren't in Sparking Zero. But that's okay, because Sparking Zero might offer a whole lot of new text that new gen players can tailor into their fighting style and just go crazy on the game.
Dragon Ball Budokai 1, and transitioning from ground to air combat is still awkward. Locking on doesn't feel right.
Like I said before, I personally don't consider Budokai an arena fighter. You know, maybe that's what people considered it back then, but when you compare it to all this new shit you got where people are moving in a three-dimensional environment, like forward, back, side to side, right? If Budokai was considered an arena fighter back then, it's pretty outdated now compared to the new shit we've got.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all
of course.
I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Awkward.
It is
Locking
outdated.
on doesn't feel right. Ascending and descending could be streamlined. And it's not always clear if you lift a beam.
That's how it's always been.
That's how
or
it's
if you
always
just
been.
aren't on the right plane. You might even find yourself fighting underwater, but doesn't slow you down or change anything at all. It just puts on a slightly different filter.
Cap. So when you're fighting underwater, and this is how it was like in all of the older Tenkaichi games, when you fight underwater, your key charge is slower.
The best fighting games, like Street Fighter, Tekken, and Under Night Inbirth, feel like
Oh
they're
my
mimicking character
fucking
motion,
God.
gathering power, and pushing a button to release it.
So, you know what?
Again, those games have nothing to do with Dragon Ball. Why are you comparing? You're comparing apples to every other fucking fruit, and it makes no sense. And you knew you embarrassed yourself because y'all deleted the freaking video and put it private. Dumbasses.
What I've noticed throughout this whole video so far, he's been comparing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, a three-dimensional arena fighter, to all of these 2D traditional fighting games that's been coming out. There's no comparison there, bro. Like, you're talking about fighting games that, you know, you move side to side, you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, quarter circle forward, super move combo, or whatever the fuck. These are not the same games, bro. Like, Sparking Zero is in an entirely different plane. Now, if you were comparing it to like Storm or Jump Force or something like that, you might have had a point. Like, you might have been onto something, but you're comparing it to two-dimensional fighting games. Like, what the fuck? If you wanted Fighters 2, I'm not gonna fault you for that. But don't.
Like I said, I'm still gonna fault him for that because no one was asking for it. I'm sorry. No one asked for it. No one cared that much.
Act like that's what Sparking Zero should have been. This is a sequel to the Tenkaichi series. Tenkaichi does not play like a two-dimensional fighting game at all.
There's an emphasis on frame advantage, timing, and spacing that can mean the difference between victory and defeat. It becomes more of a dance at a higher level. Meanwhile,
Like, does this look like Street Fighter to you, my nigga?
That's what I'm saying.
Does this look like Tekken? They're not the same game, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You
Zero
know what I'm
feels like you're
saying?
controlling a tank from very far away, and it's frustrating.
Controlling
best
a
fighting
tank.
game-
Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I did hear that like the zoning in this game plays kind of like Armored Core, and me personally, I've never played Armored Core, so I don't know if that
Might be
boy, bro.
appropriate. Have you ever watched a Dragon Ball fight? It's all fast punches that don't hit, a knockdown, and a beam.
Wait a minute,
Yeah,
hold
this
on.
nigga's a Fighters fanboy, bro.
Have you ever watched a Dragon Ball fight? It's all fast punches that don't hit, a knockdown, and a beam to finish it.
Have you watched Dragon Ball?
No, he hasn't.
If you watched it, then you wouldn't be calling key charging yelling. You wouldn't be calling beam attacks Kamehamehas. Like, even though that might have been me just nitpicking.
But when you're watching Goku punch so fast that those frames repeat, or he's moving faster than your eyes can clock, that's primarily so animators don't have to draw as much. But it doesn't translate well.
That can be argued.
I don't understand what his point for that is. So what if they animated it that like that? What the fuck does that have to do with the game? And how dare you try to make it seem like their animation is the reason why. What? So you're animated to make it seem like the so that they wanted to make other characters seem like they were going fat. Sir, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You legit have zero idea what you're talking about.
But it's like, watching this video, it don't really seem like you know a lot about Dragon Ball to begin with, so I'm not gonna take your word on that.
Primarily so animators don't have to draw as much, but it doesn't translate well to gameplay. Playing it is a different beast. It sucks all the energy out of something that, in the anime, was deliberately paced that way to save budget. So,
Yeah,
what does Sparking Zero have going for it? Well, for one, there's a huge roster. Unfortunately, there's almost no.
Oh my god! And then he makes this dumbass
A lot of the
argument.
characters share animations and combos. Functionally, there are probably closer to a dozen or so character types, and that's being generous. With 182 slots, who's champing at the bit to play characters like Nail and Kakunsa? If they're gonna go all out, I want some crazy characters.
You just answered your own question. So he was basically complaining that, you know, the complaints that most people have for Tenkaichi games, that's basically all characters control the exact same. But if you really think about it, like, there's 182 characters. How much diversity do you expect in a roster like that?
And not just that. His argument is saying that, like, why do we have to have this 7 different Gokus, 5 different Vegetas, 3 different Gohans and everything? Here's the reason. Why. And it's actually stupid that I have to explain this. For the longest time, a lot of people didn't like the fact that you could get kicked out of a form. Let's say they play as Goku and they went up against somebody against Cell, and they went Super Saiyan 2, right? Or Super Saiyan 3, however you want to go, whatever Super Saiyan form you at the moment. Let's say you go Super Saiyan 3, and you're getting your ass handed to you, and so much so that they kick you out of that form because you ran out of ki. Here in this game, they gave us exactly what we wanted. A game where we could, if we wanted to play as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, we're going to be playing as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. There will be no him running out of his form. It'll be us playing as that character in that moment as Super Saiyan 2. And they gave us the normal version of that same character. So that way, if we wanted to just play as base level Gohan, we can do that. If we wanted to play as base level Vegeta, we can do that. If we wanted to play as base level Vegeta against Super Saiyan Vegeta, we can do that. That's the whole reason behind it. Because people wanted to have that niche where, okay, I don't want to keep leveling up like a Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, Blue, Super Saiyan God, Ultra Instinct, whatever. I don't want to have to keep going up in level just to play as the character I want to play. Because there are people that just enjoy playing as, enjoy just the character being in their Super Saiyan form, right? I know some people that's like that. So let's give them what they want. Let's give them characters where when they go in the other form, they stay in that form, no matter what. But here you got motherfuckers like this complaining about the fact that it's keeping up slots. It's taking up slots. Oh, and we're gonna get to his proposal in a minute. What other characters should be in those slots? God, it's laughable.
Now, if this were Fighters roster, which I believe is what, like 40 something characters, you should expect diversity in that game, because the less characters there are, the more diversity there should be. The more characters there are, the less likely the game is to have diversity in the gameplay styles of their characters.
If they're gonna go all out, I want some crazy characters. Bulma in a robot. Taco's shirt Krillin.
Oh,
World
fuck
Tournament
no.
announcer.
Yeah.
Farmer with a shotgun.
Bitch, what the fuck?
Yeah. So his rebuttal for that. He wants Reddit idea Bulma as a robot. Because that's not that never happened. That never happened. Krillin in a taco shirt. Oh, fucking hell. And I guess in that sense, he would like a Krillin as a cop, because that's his job. He's a police officer. And then ring announcer and the dude with the gun. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You know, you really can tell how somebody truly is when they make stupid ass remarks like that and think that what they're saying is so profound and so right. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's the dumbest idea I ever heard in my life. Because what the fuck is the difference between taco shirt Krillin and the Krillin that we're getting? And the Krillin that we know of? What's the difference? What was the actual difference? You want to know the difference between base form Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Goku? One is in his base form, regular power level. The other is in Super Saiyan 2. His power level is boosted. Usa. Just calm down, real.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Bulma in a robot.
Bulma in a robot. I don't know what's worse. Perfection selection of Gooner characters or whatever the fuck this nigga has got going on.
Right. So here's some back information about that. Reference to that, perfection, the natural selection. This dude, he's butthurt. That's about Sparkling Little because there's no freaking what's the name of that? What's the name of Goku's mother? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Gin. There's no Gene in the game. No Goku's mom. Haven't gotten freaking Bardock yet. I know we're gonna be getting him. And the other Route 34 harem women that he wanted in the game. These motherfuckers are by far the most unwell, weird, deranged people I've ever seen. This is why and again, I need to find that meme because that meme is so accurate right now. These Dragon Ball fans are fucking weirdos and we need to stay away from them. We've got to stay away from them.
Bruh, look, we gotta run that back.
If they're gonna go all out, I want some crazy characters. Bulma in a robot. Taco's shirt Krillin. World Tournament announcer. Farmer with a shotgun.
Like what?
Tribute to Toriyama by having one of his self-inserts be playable. There's an aspect.
Yeah, don't you even dare, bro.
No.
Let's go back. Let's go back to
I want
his
some crazy
point.
characters.
So,
Bulma in a
This
robot.
video made me blow my nose.
Did Bulma and a robot actually happen? I
No,
don't remember
it did
that.
not.
Maybe
It did not. It
I
did
don't
not.
know, but if it did,
No.
I don't remember.
No, it
You
did
know what
not
I'm saying?
happen.
Like, and even then, like this.
There's a reason, and I'm saying this right now because that's literally an art that somebody made. That's not even. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Niggas on some gooner shit.
Taco shirt Krillin.
Yes.
Taco shirt Krillin. Now, I noticed how this dude was complaining that, you know, there was no variety in the character roster, right? There were too many Gokus, too many Vegetas, but you're asking for another variant of Krillin?
Yeah.
Make that make sense, my nigga.
Please make it make
Like,
sense.
I'm
And he
just
can't.
saying, like, this version of Krillin could easily be a skin. If you want Taco shirt Krillin, cool, but he's gonna be a skin. He does not need to be his own fucking character. Like, what the fuck?
World tournament announcer. Farmer with a shotgun.
Now, world tournament announcer and farmer with a shotgun, like, yeah, this nigga is just, I don't know what the fuck this nigga is on, bruh.
Pay tribute to Toriyama by having one of his self-inserts be playable. There's an aspect of power scaling in Sparking
That's reasonable.
Zero that's supposed to
Yeah,
reflect the
honestly,
show.
I wouldn't mind for Akira Toriyama's character to be in the game of in some way, shape, or form. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind it. Hell, I'm trying to find a pic. If I can find a picture of that character, I'm gonna add that to the shrine that me and Urban Ninja are gonna be making. Let's continue on this video. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be long as shit. I already know.
Show's lore. Someone like Super Saiyan Blue Goku hits several times harder than Yamcha, which he well should, but that's a poor substitute for balance. Other games represent power differential match.
My God, I don't know how many times I have to say this. I don't know how many times the devs have to say this, but I'm gonna say it again for those of y'all in the back that did not hear it. This game is not fucking balanced. I don't give a fuck where you're coming from. Xenoverse 2, that game is not balanced as it is. Fighter Z, in most two-dimensional traditional fighting games, most of the characters are balanced, right? There's only a handful of broken characters. But in a game like this, nobody is supposed to be balanced, bro.
No,
this game
nobody.
is full of broken fucking characters, as it should be.
Other games represent power differential matchups by showing
Another
different
2D
moves and
fighting
impacts.
game.
Still, because every Sparking Zero character feels the same with only slight differences, the best we can hope to get is the occasional character-specific power-up animation. But exploring a bunch of different martial arts styles, whether it's
Another-
MMA or drunken boxing, brings life into fighting games.
Dude, if you just say you fuck with Tekken and Street Fighter and just shut up. Just say that. Just say that. Stop making it seem like you a fan of Dragon Ball when really you just a fraud. Just shut up. Damn, like if you gonna make a video talking about Street Fighter or Tekken, then make a video about talking about Street Fighter or Tekken. For fuck's sake.
Street Fighter 6 launched with 18 characters. For the most part, they played differently and oozed with unique styles.
You can't come up with 182 different fighting styles for each character, especially in a 3D fighting game.
That's what
with
I'm
fluid
saying.
animation. It's
He's
not
asking
possible.
for the impossible.
Like, most of these niggas want a 2099 game, bro. Y'all want fucking alien technology
Yeah.
to develop a game that is most likely never gonna come out. And by the time the game does come out, you're
gonna
gonna
be
be
dead.
fucking dead, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Colors, rushdown characters, zone types, stance types, and a bunch more. Chun-Li has a different philosophy behind her than Zangief and demands a different playstyle. This doesn't really seem to be the case in Dragon Ball.
And it's not like every character controls exactly the same, because if y'all haven't noticed, we just got an update. You know, they were basically showing us all of the character types. Now, I believe it's speed, power, androids, giants, different character types like that allow, different play styles for certain groups of characters. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of like controlling, yeah, I agree. A lot of the characters play the exact same, if not all of them. And that is what Sparking Zero has been. For the most part, Tenkaichi is a straightforward fighting game. Doesn't require any crazy shit to pick up.
Doesn't really seem to be the case in Dragon Ball, where all characters are slight variations of Goku.
But you want another Krillin. Man, I'm just confused. I'm just going off your logic. Like, you're complaining that every character is quote-unquote Goku, but you're asking for another Krillin character? This is a bait. It's gotta be, bruh. It's gotta be
Zero
a bait,
only
bruh.
has two archetypes, normal and big. It's not an entirely new mechanic, but it was a bit different to play as Uzaro Vegeta, a giant ape form that moved very slowly and had harder punches. But the controls are so floaty and tanky to begin with, it felt more frustrating than anything. So once you've played one character, you've basically played them all.
That's bullshit.
Dragon Ball Z games might be all about fighting and yelling, but Dragon Ball as a whole is so much more. And the games have a hard time.
Is it though? I mean, the only reason a lot of us watch Dragon Ball is for the fighting. Like,
now, I will say this in regards to that concept. Both are right. Gameology's point that Dragon Balls is more than just the fighting is true, because it is. The world is there. There are other characters. The arts, the feel of Dragon Ball, the soundtrack, the music, all of that is what makes Dragon Ball so memorable for a lot of people. And then on the other hand, people do enjoy the fighting. They do want to see, when they talk about Dragon Ball, they talk about the fighting. So both are right. But I'm pissed off because this dude made it seem like he knew the best thing to do for Dragon Ball as an anime. I'm gonna let him talk.
Dragon Ball never really had a huge story aspect to begin with. Like, when you go to animes for story aspects, you usually think Naruto, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dragon Ball doesn't typically come up in that conversation when we're talking about animes with good stories.
Honestly, I think it should, though. I think it should. That's the one thing I'll just disagree about what Armor Hammer said. I think we should be talking about the story of Dragon Ball more, because there's more. There is so much lore and story behind Dragon Ball that so many people don't talk about, that we should honestly talk about it. We've been talking about One Piece, the story of One Piece and Naruto for years now. Let's give them shits a rest. Let's actually have a sit down and talk about the story of Dragon Ball, because there is a story. There is a story. I think it's very disingenuous for us to say that there was not really a story for Dragon Ball. Yeah, there was. It's just that motherfuckers just weren't paying attention to it. We didn't really some people didn't really give that much attention to the Dragon Ball story, but there is a story.
Bringing that sense of fun and confidence to the forefront.
Oh God. This is the main thing that pissed me off. So we're gonna get right into this, but I don't even want to watch any more of this video, because I know he's gonna embarrass himself even more. Not the Arm & Hammer, but Gameology. But let's step up. Let's go ahead.
This should be interesting.
Yep.
Let me set up the Dragon Ball game we all want.
It was heavily influenced by Journey to the West.
Yes.
With his monkey tail, super strength, and martial arts abilities, as well as his mischievous nature,
Yes.
Goku is a modern-day Sun Wukong. As a matter of fact, Sun Wukong translates to Sun Goku in Japanese.
Yes, that's a common thing that we know.
Reflects that. It's far more grounded and focused on exploration. There are moments along the way that would be perfect for a new game. For all the talking cats and horny sidekicks Goku might come across, There's a sense of world building that's missing when it's conveyed solely through punching. The anime hinges
There's
on-
a game for that. It's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. If you're looking for other shit in a Dragon Ball game, go play Kakarot. That's not.
Now that he has said that, the dude is gonna go on to say that he wants a game where it's like it's Dragon Ball Fighters aspect to it when they fight, but also a game where not only do they have that, but you can also explore the world of Dragon Ball like how you would do in the Legacy of Goku games. Because that's exactly what he described. Here's my thing about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. In my opinion, and I can be wrong, but I've told Urban Ninja this because it made the most sense to me because I played these games. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is literally a remake of Legacy of Goku. Legacy of Goku games. And Boost Fury. Just this game is everything that this motherfucker was complaining about. The fighting, exploring the world, even in the beginning of this, in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, you had to get certain Z orbs in order to do something. That was in Legacy of Goku 1, where the orbs were around, or where you had to fly and use energy to get around and shit. That was in Legacy of Goku 1. And then in 2, you could play more characters than just Goku. You could play as Piccolo. You could play as Krillin, Yamcha, I believe. Freaking Gohan. Definitely Gohan. You could play as God, you could play as the motherfucking androids. You could play as freaking Future Trunks, Vegeta. You could play different characters in that. And that was in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This dude is now trying to put cheese on his nothing burger. And it is pissing me the fuck off because how dare you make a 13-minute video talking about how this game that we've been wanting for 17 years is something that we have already gotten. Sir, if it was something we already gotten, we wouldn't want it. We wouldn't be wanting it right now. We would actually sound like you and say that we want something else if that was the case. That is not what this is. That is not what this is at all. And it's very disingenuous that you made a video spouting this nonsense and then took it down the moment it got heat.
Not 100% a fighting game. I don't think it's not a fighting game at all. Actually, it's more of a story-based game, which sounds like that's exactly what this guy's looking for.
It is exactly what he wants.
And you're looking for a more adventurous Dragon Ball game, go play Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's what that game is there for.
Big moments in relationships, like escaping the Red Ribbon Army with Bulma, or meeting Yamcha for the first time, or just how many bonds were formed during the first World Martial Arts Tournament. This game strips out all the context for these deep, meaningful friendships the Z family is built on. I don't fault Sparking Zero for being one thing or turning it into a gameplay type.
That's literally what you've been doing this whole video, bro.
Yeah.
You've been literally complaining that Sparking Zero
Yeah.
is just fighting and it doesn't have any other adventurous story mechanics hidden inside the game. Is that not what you've been doing this whole video?
And then have the audacity to, and it, what's crazy? You know what? It's not just him that's been doing this. A lot of other creators had the balls to start critiquing Legacy of Goku games, the GBA game that was for the Game Boy Advance, is saying that there's something lacking in all of them. If you just weren't around the times when these came out, just say that, and stop trying to make it seem like something was wrong with those games, because they weren't. Hell, I had my little gripe because of the little art, and why Goku's head looked misshapen in Legacy Goku 1. But even then, I'm looking back at it now, it doesn't really freaking matter because people love the game. People remember the game. I remember the game. I wanted it when I was a kid. I was heavily into Legacy Goku 2. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with these games. So I really hate it when creators, these top-notch creators that be having these big subscriber counts, saying this stuff as if they know what they're talking about. Like, if y'all want to make these videos, don't speak for us. Speak for yourself. Please.
First of all, you're faulting it for not being balanced like fighters, even though the devs have made it clear that this game is not balanced. Then you're faulting it that it strips the context of, the story element of Dragon Ball, which we know Dragon Ball was never known for its story element to begin with. You've been faulting it this whole video, my nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dragon Ball is many things. You might think, well, Sparking Zero has a dedicated story mode, but at this point we've seen it. Dragon Ball games tread the same ground until it's paved over. The Game Boy games,
and then like I said, and he makes this fucking comparison. He makes the comparison. He brings in the Game Boy games as a comparison because we've been getting the same story. Dog, you're talking to people that literally buy the same football game every year. And that's literally just a football simulator with an updated roster. That's literally it. You think motherfuckers care that it's the same goddamn story? We don't care. That's why we keep buying these things, because we like Dragon Ball. Clearly you don't, and you want to bitch and whine about it.
Legacy of Goku retold the Z story, but had Goku punching wolves.
Wow, dude, Goku punched a wolf? Oh my god, man, that's so cool. It's almost like he can't punch a fucking wolf at Sparking Zero. His name's Bergamo. I'm not tweaking, bro.
Retold the
Hey,
Z
let's play
story,
the video.
but had Goku punching wolves. Kakarot retold the Z story in its entirety. Xenoverse retold the story with some what-if and time travel elements and included a somewhat lacking create a character.
Lacking.
Sparking Zero also has a story mode, but it'll be thin because we've seen it before.
That's where the what ifs come in. Those are conclusions that we haven't seen before. And not only that, the story is told in a completely different way with, the episode battles and all that. It's not like Tenkaichi where you just run through the story mode, speed running the lore. You know what I'm saying?
Which, if anybody wants to do that, just go ahead and play the old games. If you want if you want the entire story, we play to you word by word like that. If you want it like that, just go play the old games. But if you want to just get to the gameplay, don't listen to these motherfuckers who complain about nothing. I'll tell you firsthand. Okay? There's a reason why a lot of motherfuckers pre-ordered the hell out of this game and are going to buy it come the day of, because people love Budokai Tenkaichi. And that's the point. It doesn't matter if it's the same game over and over. If it, not the same game, if it's the same story we're playing over and over. We love Dragon Ball because it's Dragon Ball. That may not make sense to some of you, but it makes perfect sense to everybody else. And no one was complaining about this until you motherfuckers decide to open your mouths. And it's a John Brown shame that I'm doing this on Dragon Ball Sunday. But I honestly had to get this out because I could not believe that somebody really made this video and then put it on private or delete it after everybody clowned the hell out of them. I can't believe I was subscribed to the dude. Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna get even going further on into this. Just know that this dude that I'm using this video for is a cool dude. He's a small channel like me. Go support him. He talks about a lot of stuff, especially concerning Sonic the Hedgehog. Please check him out. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I hope y'all have a good Dragon Ball Sunday. This video is probably gonna be an hour long. I hope not. My head hurts. I'm gonna get me some more tea. Y'all have a good day. Happy Dragon Ball Sunday. I love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.
勝ちだぜぐんぐんぐんぐんぐんを抜きじゃんじゃんじゃんじゃん